Okay, once you have your pieces rolled out, remember that you're to store them on the round bats, and that allows you to keep them all together in one bag, and the plastic bats won't dry out. So I do stack things one on top of another, and if any of my pieces have a curve in them, I try to put that curve in, because if it gets too hard, you're not going to be able to make that curve without cracking the pot. Okay, now it's time for construction. And most of us, not all of us, but most of us are going to construct our piece laying on its side. So I am going to lay my piece out just to show you, and then talk a little bit about these corners. And some of them will be different. Okay, some of my pieces don't fit exactly, but I just laid it out how I'm going to construct it. But then if you'll notice, the bottom doesn't fit on without, if I go down, it's a little short. If I go up, it's a little over the edge. So we're going to talk about mitering these corners, and then these corners with an interior angle, we're actually going to have to fill that in with clay. So let's start with a basic construction. And what you're going to do is score. Make sure you score all the edges. So you want to it's just easy to do. I have it all laid out the way I want to. And I can scratch and attach everything. Now, if your pieces have gotten hard, you can lay paper towels on them to soften them up a little bit. I would not put hard pieces onto soft pieces. So now I'm going to paint my slip on. Your slip might be hard, and so make sure that you're using some really mushy slip, just like pudding. And then I'm also going to slip these pieces that come together. Now, if you really want to be sure that things fit together, go through and score again. You want to really create kind of a mud, and then sometimes I even put the slip back on there again. So then I'll go through and slip it one more time. So this is not a quick process. You should take your time and really make sure things fit together. If, like, this wall is a little big, but what I'm going to do is slide it down, and then I can always trim it later on. Okay, so already it's pretty stuck. You know, give it a tug and make sure that it's really stuck on there. Okay, I'm going to wait with these walls, and I want to show you that on every corner that you can, you have to put a little coil in. So I'm going to roll a very small coil and make it look good. And usually what I do is hold my left hand outside, because I'm right-handed, and take my right hand and just push that coil into that corner. If you don't do this, your whole piece can fall apart. So if you do get any cracks in your piece or it falls apart, I look for the scoring and the slipping. Okay, what I want you to notice on this is that I did not go past. Okay, so this is now 1/4 of an inch bigger. So this is what we call the sandwich technique. And so now we have an issue. I need to get the coils in there, but now I have an issue right here. There's an extra gap in there. So sometimes I peel up the tar paper. I'm going to push it down onto there. You have to do your best to get the coil in there. Even if you feel like you can't put a coil somewhere, you can at least get the bottom 2 inches with a coil. And even that's going to help. Okay, so what I have to do now for this part here is add some clay and fill it in. Because of the way my piece was constructed, I need to make sure that this joint is nice and secure. Okay, I'm not going to continue with those coils because I want to show you and I don't want to lose your attention, because now I have to put this bottom piece on. But you can see it's shorter, I have to lift it up. So what I'm going to do is something called miter the corners. So if you have side pieces that need to fit together exactly, you're going to need to cut these corners at an angle. I also have something called a bevel tool, and if you really plan well and know what corners that you're supposed to cut, then I can take my bevel tool, hold it on the bottom, and just pull through, and it cuts it at a 45-degree angle. The nice thing about clay is if you need a 30-degree angle and you forgot to cut it, and you cut it at a 40-degree angle, it will still work. Again, score, put some slip on there, score again, more slip, score, slip, more slip, score on there. You've got to get the bottom on there. And now what you'll see is that will fit in there and there'll be no gap. It's the right level. Okay, so now comes the part, I would put the coils in there. Now comes the part where you're going to flip this over on top. Now for some of you, you're going to say it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Well, what you can do is bow these sides out. Take this, pull it out. So clay is flexible. I'm going to score and slip and put that on there. And then, and only then, do I stand my project up. Now I'm not going to take the tar paper off yet, because before I do, and I have it all together, I'm going to take one of these wood rollers and really make these corners look good. So I will continue working on this, and in the next video I'll show what to do when you take the tar paper off, but you really need to make sure all these edges are nice and attached. So don't take the tar paper off too soon. I will also show you what to do if you accidentally have different levels at the top. It's pretty easy.